For thousands of years, the art of Kung Fu has been passed on from generation to generation. Master to disciple, father to son, the wheel of life continues.
After releasing our first interview with the White Dragon, Matt Jane, so many of you requested us to shoot a documentary. Today's video, as always, was supported by Huel. If you want to find out more about Huel, go to link in the description. How's it going, bro? You all right? Good. Nice to see you again.
How you doing?
I'm good.
White Dragon is my name, and I refer to myself just as a man on a journey of empowerment and self-discovery through the art of Kung Fu.
Where did the influence start to come from? Like, at what point, did you say, this is sort of a path for me? And do you remember the first piece of like media, book, whatever it was, that consumption of that, where that happened?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one weekend, woke up and my mom pulls me down and she's super excited. Come downstairs, come check this out. And she opens up the Guardian newspaper and behold, a Shaolin monk. The first time Shaolin monks come to London, it was an article about these mystical men and the fact that they were coming to London to put on a show, telling their story. This was no CGI, this was live on stage. I'm talking about people flying through the air with acrobatics that I'd never seen. People doing handstands on their fingertips, breaking iron bars on their head, weaponry, swords, chains, bullwhips, sticks. It was like a kid going wild in a candy store. It was just non-stop. It was like, wow. It blew me away. Once I saw this theater show, that was it. I knew that I was destined to be a warrior monk of the Shaolin monastery. That was the dream. I was 11 years old. That was the moment where everything fell into place. The color of the clothing, the look of the people, the haircut, the movements, everything. It was just like, that is what I want. Got my visa, literally 2 days later, boom, flew to Shanghai. From Monday, being in school with teachers I felt didn't really want to be there, fellow students who were flunking school, bunking, smoking weed, etc., etc., etc. It just didn't seem to be about learning. To the next couple days, boom, in a monastery, training every day, waking up at ridiculous hours like 5 a.m. I'd never woken up at 5 a.m. Waking up at 5 a.m., running mountains, cooling down on my hands and knees, doing headstands on concrete for hours and hours on end. It seems like hell. But I'm sure you can already see that I'm smiling because that brought me joy. That realization of a dream was exactly what I needed, and I do not believe in soft and hard, easy and difficult. That's all perspective, opinion. So it was not hard. For me, it was like heaven on earth. I was living the dream. It was literally every day was a scene out of a Jackie Chan movie. That's what I felt like, if I could put it into words. We thought, you know what? Why not come out to America's Got Talent and show the world what we've got on the biggest stage?
Good for you.
And to be able to do it with my son is so special. Let's hit some handstands. That was good. That was a lot straighter than yesterday.
Because that went up from here.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, that's exactly, boom, nice point, nice squeeze. Yeah, it was good. That's exactly like the pike. That's what you want to do anyways. So, I watched the video. Do you remember the moves? Starts here, and the narration kicks in. You're on the middle bars. Then just straight away run to each other. Bam. Boom, kick, bam, door, bam, door. Where I grew up, I didn't have what I was looking for. I had to come all the way to China. I searched high and low. It was all like self-defense, build confidence. You couldn't learn weapons, animals, drunken. You couldn't do any of that. I said, let's open a spot where I can continue my training and I can share with our son, and we can share with the local community who also have dreams to realize that that's what we can do. And that's exactly what we did. In the beginning, that's exactly what we did. I don't know how much you know about me, but I have students who, the only other people outside of China, you know, I've got students who can backflip on their heads. My son's got Guinness World Records. I absolutely love to teach and share and inspire and grow. Why? Because I'm on stage. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, says Bob. We use him to work on our striking. And then here is like what I call the Sundar chamber. So Sundar is another system of Kung Fu from China, which just translates to free fighting. So just like karate translates into English as freehand as well, it's the same thing. So it's just the idea of using the more simplistic approach of traditional Kung Fu, punching and kicking, hitting bags, for the sake of fighting and sparring, you know. So in here, we're just working on, you know, just different techniques and movements. We have on this wall a very powerful quote: "I am strong because I know my weaknesses," which is a very important one, because you can only be as strong as your weakest link. So understanding your weaknesses is very important. Otherwise, you know, you can have, like, for example, a strong upper body, but if it comes specifically to fighting, we're talking about fighting, if your lower body is no good and you're not grounded, obviously that's where your opponent's going to take you down. So then you need to work on that. So that's just a quote that I like everyone to have in the back of their heads when they're
And in the city of Dongfeng and Shaolin, there's over 100,000 Kung Fu students. It's extremely competitive. If you go to China, you will see those 10,000s of hours taking place. And it's quite challenging to watch, because any 10,000 hours is not easy. And you'll see these young kids doing stance work, doing something in Chinese called Ji Ben Gong. As I got deeper into it, I started to perform. So I was asked to come on various tours and trips around China, which allowed me to explore China and get on stage. As I said, I loved being on stage. Then, crazy, I was chosen to be a coach at one of the Shaolin Temple training grounds, and I became a coach where I was teaching 30 children between the ages of 6 all the way up to like 19 years old. And it was quite an experience. We did a few projects there. We was part of a National Geographic documentary, lots of bits and pieces, you know, just living the life. Then this was the crazy point. I was actually selected to be part of the very same show that I had seen in the first place, The Wheel of Life. And I am still today the first and only non-Chinese Shaolin warrior to be part of that same show. So imagine, from seeing the guy do the finger handstand on stage to now being the guy doing the finger handstand on stage. You know, earlier I said that the feeling I got when I saw The Wheel of Life, the feeling of being on stage surpasses that tenfold. And the energy that carries you when you're on stage is something that I've never been able to recreate outside of that environment. Every time, literally, there was not one time that we did the show, and it was intense. Weekends we were doing a matinee, so four shows over 2 days, and then the rest of the time we were performing every evening, and if we weren't in one location, we were traveling to the next. But man, there was not one show that didn't feel meaningful and powerful to me. And that's what I mean when I say being on stage is where I belong and where I feel most powerful. And that's why I train so intensely to perform on stage. So my whole life revolves around that. And of course, my son plays a big part. He did his first backflip when he was 1 year old. He's been training in shows since he was 2, doing the neck hanging. Now he's progressed onto things like finger handstands. He's got Guinness World Records. So a lot of what we do is based around his and mine relationship. And the relationship we have due to Kung Fu in the temple is very unique, and the bond is very strong. He's 15 and he's been to over 15 countries, and pretty much all of them is to do some sort of TV show or you know, performance that we do. He loves it, I love it. And again, people ask, oh, but what if he doesn't want to do Kung Fu? And they get it twisted, like, well, what is Kung Fu? For me, Kung Fu is basketball. Kung Fu is going to the gym and working out. Kung Fu is creating content that's engaging and fun. And some people might not think it's Kung Fu. It's push-ups, it's muscle-ups, it's pull-ups, it's whatever it is. That's what we do. Will he ever get bored of that? No, if he's bored of that, he's bored of living, you know, because these are the fundamentals. Of course, when he goes into something that he wants to do for his life, maybe has a career path, I'm pretty confident he'll want to continue to play ball. He'll probably want to go gym. He'll want to do, and all of those things are Kung Fu. So I just think there's a misunderstanding. People might think, oh, they're in the temple every day doing the basic forms, meditating. No, we don't do that. We're training, you know, we're athletes. So yeah, I'm happy. Literally, I'm just happy living out the rest of my life following this process. I feel, maybe not for everyone, but I feel I've figured out my meaning, my purpose, and it feels good until one day if it doesn't, and then I'll change. But to date, it's felt good for a pretty long time.
If you lead a busy life like me and millions of other people around the world, you might be struggling to get your nutrition in. That's where this stuff comes in, absolutely clutch. If health was easy, everyone would be doing it. But Shaw make it that easy. You scoop, you shake, and you go, and you get 26 vitamins and minerals, and every single ingredient inside this and all of Hugh's other products has been expertly tested by their team to make sure you're getting exactly what you need. And if I'm really in a pinch for time, I'll grab their ready to drink, which has 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and tastes delicious. Don't just take my word for it though. People like Idris Elba, Diver CEO Stephen Bartlett, and hardest geezer who ran the entire length of Africa use this as part of their daily routine. So if you want to find out more, go to the link down below. You can get exclusive offers, like if you sign up to their subscription service, you get 10% off all future orders, and if it's your first time ordering, you get a free shaker and t-shirt. It's also now available in major retailers in the UK and the US. What are you waiting for? Go get it.